Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Down here again with my good friend Nick at TourX. It is his wonderful establishment. And we're going to do a slight change. We've done drivers so far. We're now going to have a look at some irons, and we're going into the Ping irons. Now, what have you got for me today, mate? What we're going to have a look at?
So these are two new additions to the Ping lineup. Two players irons. We've got two blueprints. We've got one coded S and one coded T.
Okay.
Very traditional muscle back stroke small cavity is the S. Retro lofted, or should I say, in my opinion, retro lofted. Slightly softer lofted than one or two of the current irons on the market. And then we've got the T, which is more of a full-grown blade.
Right, okay.
Struggle to get them in words out there, Rob.
Yeah, that looks like the leading edge on that one I could probably shave, which is something I could probably do with it at times. So with these ones, you're saying these ones in the retro loft. I'm right with the Ping now, they're offering retro loft and strong lofts, aren't they?
Yeah, I've actually worded that slightly wrong. I would class these as weak lofted compared to modern clubs.
Okay.
33 degrees is the standard loft right now on these, 62 of the lie, and of course Ping have the colour code, so I think it's classed as black colour code.
Okay.
We have the option to retro loft them, so we can go even higher lofted,
right?
You know, throw back to the olden days, or we can power spec them and we can go a little bit stronger. They are forged, so they will move, a little bit unique for Ping.
Right, okay.
Great looking, beautiful looking, very, very thin top line, limited offset, and like you say, when we get down to the blueprint T, it's really, really small, Rob. So nice looking, chrome finish. Plenty shaft options from Ping. Obviously, we have our own shafts, so we can put any combination in or out of those. Interesting, the T standard length is a little bit shorter than the average standard length in one or two of the others. Yeah, and moved a little bit of weight around in the S, Model S, with a little bit more of a pocket cavity, and so we could get a little bit more forgiveness with the longer irons, 3, 4, 5. I think they're available 3 to pitch, and I think there may be gap wedges. I'd have to double check. And also, it's made from, I think it is, if I remember rightly, 8620 carbon.
So I'm using at the moment with my irons currently, I've got KBS 90 Tour regulars in there. So what are you going to put in shaft-wise for me to try and use with these ones?
I'm going to put a Modus. I'm going to put a Modus 105. Nothing against the KBS option, but I'm going to put what's a standard option with Ping, so people can relate to that.
That's great. So it's not going to be too far from what I'm hitting anyway. I've tried the Modus ones before, so I'm quite happy with those. I know how they feel. So that's great. So it's kind of like a light for light for me. At least you're not putting me in a 120 stiff or something like that.
That's right. And they are simply standard lofts, standard lie, standard length. So I think it'll be great. I'm going to put this shaft in both of the models. Let Rob hit it. See how he thinks. See how it performs.
That's great. So we'll do 10 shots. We'll not show him on all, and then we'll go back in the end and we'll show you the stats and the details. So let's go and crack on.
Great.
Happy days.
We've got Trackman. And we've got RCT Pro V1 golf balls. Right,
okie dokie. So we'll try and get as most accurate as we can do with these RCTs. And let's see where we're going. Now, with my normal irons at the moment, I'm like 143 average on a good one.
Okay.
143 average, round about there, 140, 143.
Right.
So I know these aren't going to fly as far.
Possibly not.
But I don't mind that too much. Yeah, I didn't catch that fully anyway. Didn't catch that properly. It was I was just a bit off the bottom. But it seems strange hitting a Ping that's forged.
Yeah.
It really does feel strange hitting forged Pings.
Good shot, Rob.
Little turnover a little bit, but it's not too bad.
Great shot. Super shot.
That's kind of the carry numbers I'm looking for, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, good. Very good. Very nice.
Oh my God.
Yeah, very nice.
How good are these?
Yeah, very nice. Brilliant.
Oh my God.
How did they feel?
They're outstanding. Oh my God.
Yeah. Really good.
Ping, where have you pulled these from?
Yeah. Really nice.
I don't think I've hit a Ping forged claw. I might have done once on Rick's channel.
Yeah.
But these are superlatives.
Yeah.
I'm running out of superlatives.
These are nice. These have been we've had a good start to the to shop sales.
And these are in the standard lofts?
Standard lofts. So obviously we're going to look at at your stats, and you'll find that you haven't lost any distance compared to your gamers. And I can assure everybody out there, there's no trickery. You know, they are standard lofts. You know, we measure that on the loft and line machine before and after all the sessions.
And I'll put up on the details on the screen in a moment now in terms of what my loft is
on
for
your
my 7.9.
gamers.
So I'm using Mizuno MMC, MP18 MMCs. So I think the slightly stronger lofts, and they get weaker as you get to the back end.
Yeah.
So I think the 7.9 is in the middle in terms of what lofts are. So I don't think it's going to be much different than 33.
Yeah.
But these are outstanding.
When you consider, you know, I know we haven't had a look at the stats yet, but when you consider there's manufacturers out there with 27-degree 7.9s.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, I would say the standard these days is hovering around 32, maybe even 31 degrees.
But bear in mind now as well that the with this, you know, you can get them in the stronger lofts and then into the more retro lofts.
Yeah.
The option to do a power build and go stronger top end and then morph them down like a lot of them doing.
Yeah.
You can then fit in the gaps that way. So you've got the option to go more into that one, more power at the top, more finesse at the bottom.
You know, retro also saves you having a gap wedge, or you go a bit stronger and it saves you having a 4-iron. So there's loads of different permutations.
Load of options. Yeah, there's a lot of them doing.
Yeah.
They're a fantastic piece of kit, mate.
Good.
I'm impressed with them.
Good.
Right, so what's next then?
The T version.
Team version.
Okay, Rob, exactly the same setup. Model T, slightly smaller footprint, a little bit more compact.
Shouldn't really be for me, should it?
Yeah, square toe, small, even smaller when you get to the longer irons.
Yeah, that looks more like a classic head shape.
Yeah. I would say the population of golfer that is aimed at is very small. However, I think we're all on the same understanding as a traditionalist. It's beautiful.
But this does look, from looking down, I'll show you some footage, guys, on the... I'll show you some footage when I'm doing this. The look from above, it just looks stunning.
Yeah.
It's
something we've not mentioned as well, Rob. I think the grooves, you know, are outlined with a little white line across the bottom.
Yeah.
I quite like that. There's mixed feelings on that from some of my customers. I quite like that. I think it helps you to square the face a little bit at impact.
Every set of golf clubs I've owned since forever have always had a white line at the base anyway.
Right.
Every set, so from Titleist into Mizuno into Callaway, they've all had that white stripe at the bottom.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is the milling that's on the face on this. So I know Ping was doing something with how it deals with water on the wedges and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know, I've not checked this, guy, so please in the comments, please let me know if I'm talking utter gibberish as I often do. But I wonder if this has got the hydro coating on it as well. But I know it's got the grooving through the mill grooving, micro grooving between the actual main grooves itself. I wonder if that's going to be helping for grip and stuff. Well, obviously it's going to help for grip.
Yeah.
But right, so let's have 10 more shots with this.
Okay. Perfect.
And see how we go. Oh no, that feels even more buttery soft.
Yes.
That really does feel softer. Not that the other ones felt hard off the face, far from it, but these really do feel soft. Right, so come on, 9 more. There's only so much forgiveness any golf club can give. And that, not a lot was going to forgive that one, to be fair. I can't say that was a blade not being healthy to me. But, yeah, that's not even hitting a green ever, or a bunker.
That was nice. That was lovely.
And the carry was still there.
Yeah, yeah.
that shouldn't be going 145 almost. That shouldn't be going that far. Not that I'm complaining.
Good. Yeah, good. Yeah. Okay, one
Do you want to
more.
get any straighter than that?
Frozen rope.
If that's 0.2 of a yard offline, I'm going to be really upset.
Well, that's your 10 shots. What do you think?
Wow. Followed by a bit more wow. That's insane.
Doesn't feel like a blade. Well, I'll rephrase that. It does feel like a blade, but the performance wouldn't resemble that of a blade because we automatically assume the stats will be down, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, okay. I'm a 7 handicap golfer who probably plays really realistically for about 15 most of the days, but I've not got a quick swing speed, but false teeth. I haven't got a good swing speed. I'm like an asthmatic tortoise. I mean, 74 club speed, 140, but look out of there. All right, I've had a couple of skew whiffs, but I've had a couple of really long ones off that, which this golf club wouldn't scream to me that I'm going to reach over 150 carry. Yeah. Well, let's be honest, most male amateur golfers all seem to think they hit their iron 150 carry. I'm sorry, but you don't. Bottom line, you don't. And I know that because I claimed to doing that, and then I got a big shot when I'm going, I'm only averaging about 143. And that's just how life is. And for this now, for both of these, to be able to consistently get over 150 on some of these shots, and I've not been putting any more into it, I'm not smashing them, I'm not trying to go at them, I'm just swinging my normal swing, and they've popped and gone. This is a revelation. I've not hit any new irons since I got my Mizunos in 2019. I haven't hit another iron at all. So for that, to see this result in 5 years, hello.
Puts it safely in the category of a good performing muscle back iron though, doesn't it? You know, Srixon, Titleist T series, MC, you know, all that kind of thing.
I could feel comfortable though blending these sets. I could feel comfortable having the cavities in the higher end, 5, 6, 7, and then 8, 9 pitching wedge going into these because I'm not going to lose much distance. And I don't think I'd want to go for the higher, the stronger lofts. I don't think I'd need to.
Well, I'm going to talk to you about that now with the stats. I've seen a couple of things which we'll talk about now, which might have an influence in how we would set these clubs up for you.
Right, so let's go and have a look at them. Right, mate, so what we got?
Okay, so what have we got? Dispersion is okay, considering, you know, we've come out here today and just barged straight into irons. So a couple of loose shots, Rob, but, you know, as a 7 handicap golfer, you're going to hit the odd loose shot. So dispersion with you is always pretty consistent. I think the first thing we'll look at of note is strike location. Strike location, this is your average on the S, so that's this slightly more cavity version. This will interest you. That's the T, slightly more blade version, smaller, more compact face, so it doesn't get much better than that. Okay, and then if we have a little look at the numbers, here we go. So these are your 20 shots, and obviously we don't do 2 takes here, Rob. These are your 20 shots. If we condense that and we squeeze it, we can see the averages. A little bit of difference on club speed, half a mile an hour more out of the tees.
So just click onto that one then, please, mate. So the tees was that. What was the?
So S is 73.5, T is 74.2. That could just simply be you're more warmed up. I wouldn't see any scientific evidence of why you would swing it a little bit faster. These have both been set up exactly the same. So we've got 102 ball speed out to the S, 103 out to the T. Again, if they're both set up the same and we're led to believe the T is more difficult to hit, there should be no reasoning for slightly more or less ball speed. I would say you've hit one heavy of the S, and that's probably dragged the stats down. You also pulled one of the T's. So pulling one will exaggerate the ball speed, and hitting one a little bit heavy or fat, that will drop the ball speed.
So just out of interest then, mate, so as we're looking at that there now, if we was then to take out those couple of poor ones, because granted, on a miss hit, you're going to get punished, but a miss hit, and I've been punished on a tee at 143, which is my average for a good one.
Yeah.
If we were to take those out, what would be the average be if we took those bad ones out?
I would say it would be pretty even Stevens. I would say it'd be level pegging. We'll do that in a minute once we've had a look at the raw stats.
Cool. Okay, mate.
Efficiency's good. Your efficiency is always very good. I would question choice of shaft here, Rob, if I was being honest with you.
Really?
Even though you've hit those great. Club speed there is slightly on the slow side. I would never be afraid to experiment with some graphite.
Okay.
Maybe even slightly lighter shafts. But of course, we're sticking to one of the better stocked options at the moment. So we're a little bit restricted in what we're testing. So efficiency is great. Ball speed divided by club speed. For a relatively slow club speed, you get plenty ball speed out of it, and so your efficiency rockets through the roof.
I've got to admit, the shaft, I felt really comfortable with that shaft in hand.
It's a very popular shaft. It's a great shaft. Like I say, it'd be interesting if we got stuck into trying some different shafts now, whether or not we could increase those numbers.
So that could be another video in itself then, couldn't it? Yeah.
Correct. Good distance, you know, you've said yourself, if you can get 140 out of a 7-iron, that's great, and you're getting 140 out of what I would consider to be a modern, weak lofted iron.
Yeah.
That's what I said, that's my views. Okay, one slight stumbling block is relatively low spin. You know, if we're talking about the dream stats of an iron, this is launching at 19 degrees. It's peaking out just under 70 feet, and it's got a land angle in the early 40 degrees. So if we was really nitpicking, Rob, that's peaking out a little bit on the low side, it's dropping out of the sky a little bit, and it is quite shallow as it comes into the green. Is
that because of me and my slow swing speed and not getting the ball speed out of it because I'm a slower swing speed?
Potentially, yes. And again, that's where it would be interesting to experiment with different shafts. Maybe let's not be afraid to add even more loft, because if we could get that spin up, get the height up and the land angle a bit steeper, you create more distance control.
Right, okay.
Yeah, but of course the trade-off would it go less distance?
Right. Okay.
And that's where we've got to give it some thought. So if I was nitpicking there, I would say the numbers are great. I would question the shaft or even the ball that we're using, because that spin is a fraction on the low side.
Okay.
Beggars can't be choosers though, because you know we've got some good numbers. Dispersion is great. We've got it set up for a good player. There's your heavy one on the bottom, and there's your pull, Rob. So if we just move those to one side for now, we'll see what kind of a difference that makes. So we just move that there and that there. Okay, so dispersion now is much tighter, taking away your two worst shots, and it now makes the stats completely even Stevens.
So click on the ping blue T then, please, mate. So we can see the stats at the bottom. So
there we go. Yeah.
So that's carrying at a 142 with 154 total.
Correct.
You're saying spin there at 5-1.
Yeah, since we took away the pull, that spin's a little bit higher. Yeah. So you know, in an ideal world, I'd like to see that 500 or 600 revolutions more, even for you. So about tour players are around 7,000. Yeah. Good amateurs mid 6,000. So I think if we could get the trade-off of still getting you the ball speed, still getting you the desired distance, but if we could increase that spin a little bit, it will be of a benefit.
So what are on the Blueprint S then, please, mate?
Blueprint S, almost the same numbers from a performance point of view, spins a little bit less. Now again, there could be a miss it in there, Rob. I don't want to start taking them all out. Fine. On paper, would we assume that the blade would spin a little bit more? Possibly. Yeah. Possibly. You know, a blade is great for shot shaping, great for feel, looks good in the bag. And the S would be, a little bit more user-friendly, slight cavity, potentially a little bit more forgiving, etc. So I think from a performance point of view, if we was going to say which is the best, I would say it's quite difficult to choose there, because I think they've both done a great job. Yeah, they have done. They've done really. I think I'm surprised that the T is more compact. Yeah. But again, that could be a factor because warming up, how many shots I'd hit. We didn't really warm up that much before we went into this today, did we? So that's a fault on our part. So we've given it a fair test, but it could have been more fair, couldn't it? Let's be honest. Yeah. But there's some really big surprises in that I did not expect. Yeah, a lot of consistent shots from both of them. Yeah. So, I could sit here as a fitter and quite honestly say that, there could be an opportunity to fit you for a set of either of those.
or blended two sets.
Or a blended set, yeah. I think the minute we start playing around with a few shafts and maybe a few different settings, I mean, again, everything's pretty standard there, Rob. You know, I know historically we've gone a little bit flatter in the past with you.
Yeah.
I would say, you know, we can probably improve those stats a little bit more.
That'd be great. Right, so let's go and do a summary then. Right, well, guys, I'm stunned with that. These are probably two golf clubs that in recent times I'd have said would not have suited my game. The T series especially, that being the Muscleback, the Muscleback Aragon, yeah, because that's what like my MMC MP18 MMC is like. But this Blade one, I'd have said a definite no. I'd have been walk away from that. It, as beautiful as it looks, I'd have walked well away from that puppy. That's kind of like the girlfriend you desire to have, but you know you'd never get, and all of a sudden you might have just pulled it. You know, I'm not often shot for words, mate.
I think it just reiterates my motto is you need to come and try these. I think if we go in a golf shop, you probably wouldn't gravitate to a full blade.
No.
And probably you'd pick this up and then you'd put it down and probably think, oof, that's a bit small and a bit non-forgiving for me. So you'd move towards the more hollow back or bigger versions. I think you've hit them great. I think it is a surprise, slight surprise on paper that they perform so well. The
surprise on paper is nuts. I mean, that one I gravitate towards the S.
Yeah.
I'd straight away I'd go to that one. Despite the fact I love the look of this, I would gravitate towards that. Even now, I would gravitate towards it.
Yeah.
But looking down at it, I didn't see an issue with it. But I'm just surprised at how far it popped.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised. I can't. Ping, you've pulled a rabbit out of the hat with this.
Ping are a really strong front runner at the moment, aren't they? They're strong right the way through the brand. You know, they've got some great woods. Hybrids are very popular. They've got a new wedges series, which we'll have a look at, Rob. Great new wedges. I think this is a winner. I think, forget you, Rob, I think it might have just found its way into my bag.
There you go, guys. So, look, folks, thanks for your time. Thanks for coming and watching. If you like what Nick and I have been doing, please get a thumbs up, give it a like, give it a subscribe, and please follow Nick on TourX and TourX Golf on his Instagram channels and his social media channels. I will put those links in the description below. Please show him some love. The boy works tirelessly, fitting us amateurs and professionals like rotten. He's like Mr. No Days Off. So please, please, please give him some love and give him some thumbs up. Mate, thank you for that. That's just really opened my eyes. Ping, thank you as well. You've really opened my eyes. All the best, guys. Take care. That's just insane.